one of many problems.
The other problem is that some people use too much coil cleaner sometimes.
You're not going to mention any names though, right?
No, I'll keep it confidential. Actually, let me just get a shot of this while it's in the light before I move it in.
For a thumbnail. Look at how, like, how hard that dirt is packed in
You know
there.
what I don't understand is that looks like interior dust to me.
It looks like a sheet of paper.
It doesn't look like
It's like pulp.
it doesn't look like pollen or whatever. It's like regular household dust.
That's so strange.
You can see through the coil right there, kind of, but then nowhere
I'd say
else.
this is at least 50% blocked.
Oh, I'd put it probably more like 80%. I can only see from like here to there and a little bit up and down. That's it. And the evaporator.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Can you see my hand behind it?
I can see traces of light in the center, and
That's
about it.
disgusting. That looks like the filter had never been cleaned or something.
It looks like there just was no filter.
It came with one though.
It did? Well, those filters aren't very thorough.
No, the foam ones were much better than the plastic mesh. I can lift this myself, but it's much easier if it's two of us.
I can lift the tube, but why struggle?
No, if you don't have to, there's no point. And it had a drain hole in it, so imagine how much worse this would look.
Hold on, I gotta get the coil cleaner. Otherwise, this side of the table is a lot stronger.
Okay.
And we'll have to tilt it, angle it towards the light. So we're gonna turn it like this, and then put the camera on the other side. So this is an empty bottle of coil cleaner. We're gonna do a funny with this one.
This is disgusting. Every time I look at this, I'm amazed at how gross it is.
And it still works.
Like, it's pulp. I should be wearing a mask right now. This is like a biohazard.
Yeah, this is really plugged solid. This is I would say in the top 5 that I've dealt with.
Well, it'll be all the more satisfying once it's clean, right?
And it should clean up good because there's not a lot of rust.
No, but it's kind of sketchy in the back here. The base pan's pretty bad near the back.
Not by my standards. I don't consider it sketchy till it's gone.
Well, it may disappear.
Well, if we use so much coil cleaner, it might disappear.
Oh, you know, I forgot to bring a tap with me to tap the threads for the fan shroud.
I might have some.
Yeah, it's a 1/4 20, which is a pretty common size. I know you said you don't really care, but... All it takes to prevent that is to, throw a tap on there, then it's worth doing.
I think I have a tap set.
And you're not cutting new threads either, so it should go through pretty easy.
New chuck of coil cleaner.
Just use it full strength.
Where's that nozzle for the hose?
The nozzle for the who's?
I know I got it out. Where did it go?
I remember you picking it up. Did you leave it in the garage when we were getting the cart?
Probably.
The who's, boy, the who. That was a Simpsons reference. What? The moose? The who's? especially like on the high density ones like that Hampton Bay, that other Hampton Bay. Did an excellent job.
Is this one high density? It seems kind of thick.
No, it's not. It's probably 16.
That's not too bad.
Well, the dirt certainly is. Well, we're going to be busy for a while. This is... Wow.
Do we need any more tools besides the coil combs?
I don't think so. It's too bad you don't have another base pan. This is something that would almost be worth lifting out and washing the base pan by itself, but there's really no way to support anything.
I don't think this pan is all that bad at all. It doesn't get dodgy until the very, very edge. What is this?
Oh, that's duct seal. That's for the bulkhead where the wires go through.
Is that reusable or is it spoiled?
No, it's reusable. You have to kind of knead it like clay.
Oh, it won't come soft again?
Yeah, kinda. It's probably a little bit brittle, but... You know what? It might be worth getting a vacuum. This is so bad it may be worth bringing out the other camera to do like a before and after.
Yeah, we can set up the other camera. Because this one doesn't get good close-up shots anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like a regular still camera. I think that's the worst evaporator I've ever seen. That might actually be as bad as that Whirlpool.
Maybe I'll get the other camera and we'll just do two versions. We'll do an uncut with this and then we'll do we can show close-up of the coil cleaning with the other one. Because this should be a pretty interesting film.
Yeah, this is so bad that this is probably going to get a lot of views.
Well, I know that video of the coil cleaner is going to get a lot of views.
Do you think it'll get too many views? Glad you did.
A Sony camera.
decided to wear a mask. I mean,
Yeah, we got Kevin full hazmat suit over there.
got the gloves. Actually, you know what? For the maximum effect, I may as well put on my safety glasses too.
The coil cleaner might splash.
Actually, if you get that in your eyes, you're going to go blind.
Mm.
These aren't the safety glasses that look cool like the ones that Ken has. He's got those stylish ones. I like that. I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. Welcome to the mold factory.
Mold. Mmm.
See that? Isn't that something? That's not the insulation from the chassis. That's actually dust and dirt.
Yep.
And like you said, the original owner was a smoker, so everything's going to be real sticky.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to clean up.
Well, we have plenty of time to work on it.
And we have plenty of coil cleaner.
Rumor has it you think somebody uses too much of it, though.
Yeah, I do. So just to do it funny, we'll take a little bit of cleaner and put it in here. This is a brand new jug. And we're probably only going to use about a 20th of it.
Believe it or not, I don't think you're going to have to comb as much of the evaporator as you expect.
All jokes aside, that's probably about a reasonable amount to use.
There's a possibility you might need to make it a little stronger just because of how bad this is.
Right, that's true. I'll mix it a little bit stronger in this. I'm gonna do it. We'll do a second video for this funny part. Here's how you clean air conditioner coil. Then you let it sit for 4 hours, and then you put the air conditioner back in the wall.
No reassembly required.
Okay, now that that's out of the way.
It actually is bubbling up, oddly enough.
That's because that's all you need to use.
I'm actually glad I wore safety glasses because a little bit did splash on me.
Alright, you want to put a little bit of water in there? Maybe halfway.
Halfway?
Yeah.
That's okay. Where's the flood?
You want to do a flood?
Well, so... Okay, that's halfway.
Perfect. Now we'll put about 1/8 of the way up with coil cleaner. I don't think the drain hole's working too good. We gotta get a bigger one in there.
If only there was a tool that could do that.
See how little we've used of the container so far? You don't have to use a lot of coil cleaner. At least if you're using a decent quality one.
And actually, even this is stronger than you usually use. But this unit is so bad that it has to be this strong. In fact, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to blast this from the back.
That's a good idea. And because we have so much cleaning to do, I'm going to put the chemical gloves on.
You know what I like to do, and I don't know if this works for you, but I like to use the flat
Yep, I do that
setting.
too.
Oh, okay. That seems to be what works best for me. This is going to be such a great unit when we're finally done with it.
Mm. Especially because of the brand.
Yeah, Sanyo compressor, GE fan motor,
Hampton Bay logo,
SKF bearings. Actually, that'll be fun content as well, the bearings.
Having a malfunction here. It's like barely even getting into the coil because
I'm not even
it's
going to stand behind this. Look at that.
It's barely even getting into the coil because there's just so much dust. Try to go in from the back instead.
This poor unit did not deserve this.
No, this is quality stuff.
Well, what I mean is it didn't deserve the abuse that it saw. Look at how yellow that is. That's disgusting.
Well, that's the tire and everything.
Imagine what these people's lungs must look like.
And what does the rest of the house look like?
Yeah, it's probably better not to think about it.
Yeah, whenever the units were in the vicinity of the smoking, it's so much more difficult to clean it up.
Yeah, because it's not just dirty, it's sticky.
Right.
You know, real talk, I think New Bright's probably one of the few things that can actually dissolve the cigarette tar.
Well, rust can dissolve it too.
Actually, I think one of the worst units he ever had was from a bar, and it had no filter in it.
Did he put too much coil cleaner on that one too?
Actually, in that case, I think it needed every bit that it got. That is so gross. But it's so satisfying to watch.
And we're going to have to do this probably 2 or 3 times to get it all the way out.
Well, we got our work cut out for us for a little while.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The motor will be the easy part of the job.
Well, as long as we don't have to go crazy with the coil comb, this shouldn't take too long.
I don't think that the fins are smashed that bad on this. Like I said earlier, you might be able to get it out with a plastic brush.
This is so crooked.
That's the best tripod, too.
It's important to have a good quality tripod, although now I offset it to the point where it's just as bad, just in the opposite direction.
We got to get you a little like bubble level. Look at that. That is, it's like brown and yellow coming out of that.
Yep, that's the color of the tire. And that's the sound of a good lunch.
Yes, it was a delicious lunch. Thank you again. I think this is worse than that the original Hampton Bay that you got, the 5K.
I don't think that one had the tire in it.
No, that's true.
I think we need a little bit more force for the initial.
Oh, yeah?
I'm going to put it out the flood.
Well, speaking of floods, I'm going to get out of the way here. Wow, look at that. That actually took a lot of it out.
Oh, you want to get that stuff off the table before it drowns in a flood?
Stuff here.
Oh, the back of the evaporator looks great already.
Well, you used it like probably 4 to 1. Look at that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're right. It's not that bent up.
Not that you could tell behind all that disgusting crap that was on there.
It's so thick. Oh, look at the color of that running on the
Wow. It's actually funny that the fins look like they're rusty because they're so sticky. It's too bad you didn't have like a paper cup or something. We could have put it in there and shown how disgusting it is. Wow.
We're gonna have to probably do 3 or 4 coats of that, I think.
I think you're right.
This is not coming clean.
Although it's amazing how much came off in the first shot.
Yes, true. The most amazing thing is it was still working in this condition.
We're going to have to drill a much bigger drain hole in this than what it has, though.
And this is powerful. It's going to pull a lot of moisture.
Even though it's a garbage bay.
Oh, man, that's awful.
The other thing that might be worth...
Maybe you could just roll the cart out of the way, too. We don't need this sticky junk all over the cart.
The other thing that might be worth looking into while we have this apart are the sleeves around the compressor mounts. I know the compressor wasn't vibrating, but while we're in there, may as well do it. I brought some with me.
Oh, okay.
You just need a pipe cutter to cut them down because they're probably too tall. Or you could take them out if you never put the unit on its back or upside down. It really doesn't even need them at all.
I don't intend to do either of those things. I just intend to put a little too much coil. Have you ever seen rust clean an air conditioner?
No!
I feel like you might use a little too much coil cleaner at times.
This is the type of strength you have to rinse it off like right away.
Right. And this is still a fraction of what rust uses. Is that rust? I can't tell.
No, it's not, but it sure looks like it, doesn't it?
It looks like rust.
It looks like ferrous metal, right?
I guess it's just tar.
It's so disgusting.
Even this doesn't seem to be touching it.
I don't even think the Whirlpool was that bad.
It didn't have this tire on it. Maybe it was used in the non-smoking section.
It's starting to dissolve it.
Yes, it's dissolving the coil too.
You know, to get that off, you might have to use the secret sauce.
The coil is very delicate. Yeah, it just broke there.
Did it?
Yeah, the coil is very rotted, and that's just from the moisture sitting on it constantly from all the dirt. So we're not going to be able to apply much pressure to this at all.
The coil is not as smashed as I expected it to be, though.
Well, unfortunately, it might be by the time we're done with this.
Well, you're using the jet, so it's
Oh, we
bending.
have to.
I know.
You know, some people pressure wash these things.
No, that's wrong. Can't do that.
Yeah, it's not coming off.
We might have to use a scrub brush or something.
We might have to use some friction, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that definitely is the tar. Wow.
Not good.
Yeah, I think it's going to need some mechanical agitation.
Alright, we'll get a brush.
I mean, it's like 95% better than it was.
True, but I still don't want that on there.
I understand. I don't believe it. Oh, wow. You know what I find amazing is that this coil cleaner isn't taking the Brady label off.
The what?
Sorry, that decal down there.
What did you call it?
It's a Brady label. That's Brady makes the labels. Sorry, we use them in my factory, so. You have city water, right?
Yep.
Good thing, otherwise you'd empty the well out.
I would not buy a house with well water.
I wonder how long it takes for the well to refill.
Depends on the area.
I guess it depends on the depth of it too, right?
Around here, it probably never would run out.
Oh, really?
Because the water table is so high, you'd literally be pumping out of the water table.
I guess around here you can probably sink a well like only 20 feet.
Yeah. Well, actually, it could be totally reliable as long as it's set up correctly.
Well, that, and over time, as more houses get built, the water table can get lower and lower.
That's true. Trees change everything.
Do you want me to keep rinsing it while you get the brush?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay. This is so disgusting.
This is terrible.
The fins are busted up, but not nearly as bad as that Whirlpool.
Oh, the Whirlpool, nothing beats that. But they did come out of the same household, so whatever was going on there went on to this one, too.
Wow. Just even taking it off?
Well, I think what you're going to have to do is spray New Bright on it and then agitate it with that.
Yeah, I think it is taking it off.
And you got your work cut out for you with those fins, though. Like,
Well,
what happened over there? Like, why is that so
That's-
screwed up?
I think that's from spraying it.
Yeah, I mean, these bent over before from spraying it. I saw
Yeah.
that.
It's starting to rot out because the moisture was sitting on there 24/7 from the dust.
I'm always amazed at how good the condition is of the base pan after washing something. Like, it always looks like it's going to be so much worse than it ever ends up being.
It's almost like the dirt protects it to some degree.
Yeah,
over
it
time.
does. It's what it seems like, right?
Why don't you rinse over here and see if it's taking it off?
Yeah, it's getting there. You're making some pretty good progress. I probably should have put my crappy clothes back on before we started this. In fact, I think I might do that. Well, this is the worst unit I've ever seen. Those poor fins.
This might call for some ice cream.
Oh, I like that idea.
This is just atrocious. I just never understand, like, you spend hundreds of dollars on a unit and then you let it get like this. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that seems dumb. Just imagine how much better this thing's going to work when we're done with it, though.
It already was working pretty good.
I know. It's kind of amazing. Despite being a, piece of garbage. I think this is the strongest I've ever seen you use coil cleaner before.
Yeah, and it's still not working. I'm gonna have to get Russ over here.
It's going, slowly but surely.
I suppose at some point, like if it's not coming off this way, it's not going to come off into the air. But it's still just annoying in concept.
Well, I'd be bothered by it too. Especially since I'm so repulsed by cigarettes. Like, what did they do? Did they blow smoke directly into the intake or something?
That stuff gets seeped into everything in the room. That's just how it is.
I know you were a little bit hesitant to do it before, but we may have to put those parts in the dishwasher.
Well, those I'll put coil cleaner on very heavy. That I don't care about. I don't think it would damage the plastic.
You said the styrofoam isn't usually bothered by
The
it, right?
styrofoam is not bothered by it.
Interesting. You want me to get a piece of wood to prop up one side of this so that it drains better?
Yeah, I guess so. It's pretty full.
This is probably too tall, right? You don't want to use this.
Yeah, get a.
I'll get a 2x4?
2x4s.
before you get started over there, let me just get this thing. There we go.
Can't even find a good reference point on this coil to find
So
out what the
messed
pin
up.
size is.
I think it still needs to be rinsed off. I still see some foam on
Oh,
there.
it's got a lot more rinsing to go.
It actually has a couple of stained spots. Although I can't tell if that's stained or if that's clean.
That's pretty bad.
So gross.
It's such a waste of good equipment.
This poor unit never deserved this. You almost feel bad for the equipment.
I'll try to straighten this out, and then we'll do one more
Okay.
coat of cleaner. This may or may not work.
Yeah, there
If the coil is so rotted, this won't work.
might be a screwdriver job, which is like a never-ending.
Yeah, that's like oh well, it's not going to be perfect kind of ordeal.
Not to mention how time-consuming it is.
Right.
Yeah, I really wish I brought that that brush lid with me.
You didn't bring any coil cleaner?
No, I didn't want you to use too much. Oh, the
Oh.
sun's coming out.
Hope the sun doesn't put too much coil cleaner in it. Yeah, this is rough. It's breaking apart.
All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to change into some junky clothes, and then start cleaning some other stuff when I get back.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do much with this coil. As soon as I try to put the comb through it, it just breaks.
That coil is so messed up.
Unfortunately, sometimes this happens. You know, when the machine is dirty like that for extended periods of time, this is the end result.
Isn't that kind of what happened with the Whirlpool
It
too?
is, and that coil looks terrible in that thing, but it works great.
It has plenty of airflow over it.
Right, and this arguably still has enough airflow as well. It just doesn't look good.
So don't look at it.
I won't. I just cut this part out of the video. Don't look at the coil. there's not much we can really do with this. The coil is so deteriorated that the fins just break when you push the comb through it. So unfortunately, this is just what the coil is going to look like. I can't really get it any better within a reasonable amount of time. You would have to do this probably one fin at a time, and I just don't have the time for that. It's not worth it. This coil has enough airflow that it'll run. It'll generally work okay.
This is what I should have worn from the get-go.
I think we're just about to cowl it on this coil
That
straight
bad,
in
huh?
here.
Do you think it's kind of a lost cause?
I think it's at least 90% open.
Oh, that looks much better.
The problem is
Yeah, they start breaking apart.
it's so rotted, it just breaks as soon as you drag the coil or the comb over it, so there's really no point.
And the fins are kind of dense on it, too. This blower wheel is disgusting, too.
Yeah, we'll just douse that in coil cleaner.
Okay. Well, I'll give this styrofoam a pre-rinse. Look at this. Put this in front of the camera. This is the water that came out of the unit. It's... Oh, man. That is disgusting. See if it shows up. It's like the color of coffee. That is disgusting. That's almost as disgusting as syrup on pizza.
Ugh.
Has he ever watched any of your content?
I think he's seen some of the videos. I don't think he'd watch a lengthy production like this.
For those outside the community, it's probably not very interesting.
Oh well, I think it's interesting.
I do too. I find it oddly satisfying. In fact, this would probably fit in with the oddly satisfying subreddit. that all the mold's gone, I could probably take this mask off. I'm actually surprised how much just plain water's taking off.
Oh, it's so thick at this point.
But this blower wheel's got nothing on that Whirlpool though.
No, I think the blower was the worst.
Yeah, I thought the blower was black. Wow, look at all that foam. What? Dang. I'd say like all the tar is gone now too.
Yeah, I think whatever doesn't come off at this point is not going to come off into the air. It would be nice in concept to get it perfect, but it's not going to be.
It's so badly damaged. You really don't want to push it any harder than you have. Look at all that crud. I don't understand why these videos don't go viral like the pressure washing videos do. This is equally satisfying to me.
Probably because it's not heavily edited.
Perhaps.
I can see through the coil now, so I think they called that a major improvement.
Yeah, I could see through it too. Actually, I could see through a surprising amount of the condenser coil too.
Yeah, it's still open in the center, but you're losing so much of it. It's definitely a problem.
Oh, this does have a bubble level on it. That's pretty cool. Interesting.
Now, in theory, this should be probably the more interesting of the cleanings. Because usually the condenser is worse than the evaporator.
I don't think that was the case here,
In this
but
case, it might be an exception.
Yeah. I don't know. Rinsing that evaporator because there is still a little bit of foam in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna rinse the whole thing very good in a minute.
Look at this. This is cleaning up beautifully. I guess you're probably going to want this brush for that,
Oh
aren't
yeah,
you?
this is definitely going to need some friction cleaning.
You might even need the stiff brush that we were using before.
I really don't like to use that on the styrofoam.
I know, it
kinda
scratches it up. But to play devil's advocate, you'll never see it either.
No, but it might make it easier for more junk to accumulate.
That's a fair argument. You could buy that. Well, you know what will do a really nice job cleaning
What?
coil cleaning.
Some ice cream?
Oh yeah, we could use ice cream to clean that. By the time we're done with this is going to be like a 19-part video. And you know what? Several people will have watched every single part of it too.
Well, there has to be somebody else out there that finds it interesting.
I mean, I watch it even though I'm in the video.
Did you forget what happens?
Well, no, because I find it interesting to see, you know, what the before and after look like as it progresses. This is quite the transformation, though.
Yeah.
I'm just about done with this brush if you want it.
I'll start with the... Yeah, I'm going to need the other one. Oh, gross. I'm going to get the air conditioner full of sneeze. I have to use more coil cleaner to get it off.
Oh, no. Maybe we could clean it off with some ice cream.
Maybe.
You said you think you have a 1/4 20 tap?
I have no idea what the sizes are, but I'm pretty sure I bought a tap and die set.
If you bought a tap and die set and it doesn't come with a 1/4 20, then that set's not worth anything.
Well, then I'll return it.
How long have you had it?
A couple years.
I think it might be too late to do that.
It might be, but it's not worth anything. So the store should take it back.
I mean, if you try to return it without a receipt, they probably will give you store credit. Where'd you get it from?
Probably the Home Depot.
Oh yeah, they'll take back anything. They're pretty good.
Do you think they take off stuff that's branded Hampton Bay?
No, because they know it's junk.
Oh. I hate cleaning these blower wheels.
I know, it's one of the hardest parts. You know what I really hate cleaning? The louvers in the chassis.
That I would just douse with coil cleaner.
See, I'm such a freak. I'll go through every louver one by one with a foam brush.
I don't have time for that.
I don't either, but I do it anyway. There's a reason why it takes me forever to do everything. But you know it'll be done right.
If you get it done right, there's not much to be said about it.
I think you used to work with somebody who was like that, right?
Yes, I did.
Took a while, but he always did it right.
He took forever to do anything. He was so slow. He was slower than molasses in a freezer. But you couldn't say anything because everything he did was done right the first time.
There's a lot to be said for that.
There is.
Haste makes
Especially
waste, right?
when the people that work quickly make a lot of mistakes and have to do things over and over again. Certainly don't have anybody that works with me that does that.
Ew. This grommet is disgusting too.
Everything on this machine is disgusting.
I know, we still have to clean
Especially the brand.
especially the brand. That was probably the most disgusting part of the unit, was who made it. Here you go. Look at that. Look how dirty the water is.
This is terrible. How do you let equipment get like this?
Well, people who smoke often don't have the best cleanliness anyway. Sorry, the bristles are all jacked up on it.
Did you have to damage the brush before you gave it to me?
Yes. It's more fun that way. I'm very sorry an older boy told me to do it. Look at how much dirt came out of this. Sorry if I'm getting water on there. I'm doing my best to avoid it.
Probably should have just hooked up the second hose by now. Like an accumulation of sand on the floor here now.
Look at all that. And that came out of the unit?
Yes.
Wow. There you go. It doesn't even look like you touched it. I might cancel out the idea that we'll be done in an hour.
Well, this is never going to be perfect. That's just kind of accepted at this point. This doesn't have enough coil cleaner in it.
All that complaining about people using too much and we didn't even put enough in there.
Never a dull moment.
Too busy thinking about ice cream.
Probably.
I love ice cream.
Some people really like coil cleaner.
What if it's ice cream flavored?
Then probably too much of it was eaten.
I wonder if anybody's ever drank New Bright by accident, because it looks like Gatorade.
Well, there's one person that would know.
Oh my God. I wonder if he noticed yet.
Who?
The mystery person that we're talking
Oh,
about.
the guy that uses way too much coil cleaner?
Ow. My head. Would it make more sense to use that as a mist rather than a stream?
Probably.
Can't you twist the nozzle on the end of it?
Sure can. You want me to change something that makes more sense?
I mean, if you want.
That's not what we usually do around here.
I love that you stopped to say that and you didn't even turn it.
Yeah, that's about as good as it's going to get.
Well, unfortunately, there's a little bit more work to be done. No, there was the beginning of a wasp nest inside of this thing.
Spray it with coil cleaner.
That'll show them. There's still more to be done.
Oh,
Like this,
well, that at least will clean up easy.
like this filth. Oh wait, there's still more.
There's also the front cover.
What's that?
The front cover.
Well, the whole chassis needs to be cleaned out because there's insulation, foam insulation on top. The fans usually clean up pretty nice too. This should probably also be clean. So we'll clean out this useless vent. It's just the same size as the small units are.
Wow, what a useful feature.
Good thing they included that. Although with a Hampton Bay product, I'm surprised they did. It's such junk. Too bad they didn't include an ice cream machine.
Yeah, an ice cream machine, that's something you can use too much coil cleaner on. I really wish the styrofoam wasn't porous. Stupid design.
Well, stupid design or not, it's a good insulator. It's a better insulator than metal.
Yeah, but just spray something else on it to make it smooth. But that's not exclusive to these machines. They were all like that.
Geez, it's 27 years old and it's actually repelling water off the paint. That's crazy. Isn't that your favorite component to clean, the blower?
Yes, I love cleaning these. Can you rinse this thing off? It's kind of needs to be rinsed now.
Sure.
There's a little too much coil cleaner in it.
What else can I do to help other than stand in the way and make a mess?
You want to go get some ice cream?
Kinda. I don't know where it's at though. I assume it's somewhere in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
Where'd you put it, in the oven or?
Yeah, it's next to the toaster.
Oh, speaking of which, there's something we have to put in the toaster soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Although by the time we set the studio up, it'll probably be done cooking anyway.
Well, I did clean it up yesterday, so it's not too bad.
I just figured, you know, you set the camera up, you know, get everything all ready to
Get the
go.
coil cleaner set up. Alright, that's done. Useless piece of garbage.
It's actually amazing how much faster it goes when you have two people working on it.
You still didn't rinse that.
You took it away from me. I got distracted. I was thinking about ice cream.
Pay attention.
Why should I? Attention doesn't pay me.
They might pay in a good working piece of equipment. Is that? Do you think it looks good enough now?
It actually is still dirty, believe it or not.
Oh, great.
It's mostly clean though.
How much? Oh, for heaven's sakes, I see it. I wonder at what point is it just stained? It might just be stained.
Your call, your unit.
This is, can be rinsed.
Okay. Rinse off this stupid vent. Alright. Yeah, you made a pretty good dent in it that time. That's a lot better. You're right though, the porosity of the styrofoam kind of pushes all the dirt into it. it's still like 100 million times better than it was.
Oh
It's so gross. Just imagine how much easier this would have been to clean if the person didn't smoke.
Would have been done.
It would have been done like an hour ago.
But it had to be used in the vicinity with the smoking.
I'm telling you, I think they sat in front of it and blew smoke directly into it. How bad this thing looked. I think this goes beyond, oh, somebody was smoking inside the house with this unit running.
Well, it could have been multiple people.
Yeah, I know.
Could have been in a vicinity with heavy the smoking.
Oh, that's even worse.
That's even worse. Vent's filthy again.
This door makes such a great workbench, though.
It does.
I gotta give credit where credit's due.
That's why I kept it.
I don't blame you. I would have kept it too.
Just wish I could have get that knob off of there.
I can bring my cutoff wheel next time I come over and we can cut it off with that.
Or we could just evaporate it with coil cleaner.
It is brass, I bet. Oh, I brought some grease with me that we can put on the motor shaft. So if you ever have to take the blower wheel or fan off ever again. Okay. It's really easy. Cancel out that feature.
Oh shit, it doesn't serve any purpose.
Sure doesn't. I knew you weren't going to be able to help yourself.
At some point, I think this is just stained.
Nicotine tar. Ugh. I had a teacher who used to smoke in his car. Like, that's even worse.
Well, the car would look like this. I suppose it's better than in the classroom.
Oh, no. No teachers union on earth is going to save you from that. You're not getting away with smoking inside the school.
Yeah, it's just surprising how dirty it was even outside that house.
Doesn't that house still kind of look junky, though?
It's good looking better than it was.
Oh, okay.
If we go get ice cream, we could take a look at it. Make sure the stupid slinger reel is clean.
Well, stupid or not, it provides a lot of mechanical support.
Yeah, that's true. It's fine as long as there's no water inside.
Yeah. I don't think you would have been able to fix that Frigidaire if it didn't have one of those.
I agree.
That was a satisfying repair too.
I'm not sure I would trust that thing unattended, but I seldom use it unattended anyways.
I wouldn't care. I'd just let it shake itself apart. If it blows, it blows.
You can actually still buy that fan blade. It's still under manufacture.
It's probably like $50 million though.
It's almost $100, but it's out
It's like as much as a unit costs.
there. I'd rather spend the $100 on that blade than buy a new unit for $150.
I don't disagree with that.
Though I really can't imagine there's that many people that share the mindset to make it worth manufacturing.
I always wondered what would happen if you bought a brand new car, you never drove it, and you sold every piece. Like, how much more money would it be worth in pieces? Like, if you bought a car for $50,000, would you get like $200,000 worth of parts out of it?
Maybe depending on the model. How is there paint inside here?
How has the Goes Pro stopped filming?
Probably the battery ran out of charge. Why there is paint on the blades? How? How does that happen?
And why is there no paint on the unit?
How?
I thought that was dirt at first until you cleaned it.
It's definitely paint. This is just going to be whatever it is. I mean, the way I look at it is if it doesn't come off with this, it's not going to come off in the air. I got to go get another battery. Might make sense to roll down into the sun and let it dry.
I would agree with that. Don't forget about this awful piece too, though.
Yeah, we'll get back to that when I change the batteries.
Okay. Probably want to get the vacuum too.
Well, you don't think you can rinse off?
Sorry?
You don't think you can rinse off?
Well, the bulkhead has some electrical components on it.
Oh.
I mean, I guess you could. How cool would it be if Hampton Bay made a 24 and you're able to find that?
Yeah, do you think it came in that big of a capacity?
I don't remember.
I mean, the machine exists. I guess it's a question of how big of a chassis was the Hampton Bay branded coverall for them. Is that another stupid worm thing floating around here?
Well, if it is, it's about to not be. I'm going to cancel it out.
Can you cancel that out?
Bye-bye. You're not eating any leaves.
Wrecking my oak trees.
I try not to kill living things, including bugs, but they do so much damage that I have to make an exception.
Well, some bugs are beneficial and then some are destructive.
For example, and I might have told you this, I won't kill spiders. And I know that would really piss off Russ because he's terrified of the things, and most people are. But I like them because they eat mosquitoes, and I am extremely allergic to mosquitoes.
I don't mess with spiders outside, but if they come in the house, they gotta go.
Well, if they come in the house, I usually grab them with like a cup or something and bring them outside. I won't kill them though, because I can't do it. They're helping me, so. You know, it's amazing how clean the base pan got without any agitation.
Whoops, that was a waste of like 2 air conditioners worth of coil cleaner right there.
I don't even think you've used a quart of the New Bright at this point yet.
Well, that's because we're using it within reason. Some other collectors like to use it beyond reason. Some very respected collectors even use it beyond reason.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you felt that way.
Oh. I'll try to make it more more widely known. Oops. Was that the sound of using too much coil cleaner?
I think of all the stuff you showed me on the deck earlier, the fire pit's probably the coolest.
I like that fire pit.
That must be really nice in the winter.
I don't go outside in the winter. It's nicer in the summer.
See, me personally, I would probably use it in the winter so I could sit outside and look at the Christmas lights.
That's fair. It doesn't throw off quite that much heat. I mean, it does, but it's more of a like for aesthetics than anything else.
Oh, that makes sense. It's actually kind of amazing. The condenser coil's in almost perfect condition.
Well, it's because the drain hole makes a huge difference.
Now, there's a little bit of coil rot, superficial coil rot on like the last row, but it's really not that bad.
Well, there's a good chance that the drain hole was plugged for a while too. Very small.
Yeah, it looks like it's only about 1/8 of an inch in diameter, which probably would be fine if it's not clogged.
Yeah. I mean, all things considered, this from here up is perfect.
Agreed.
And since these can run with 0% of the condenser,
Yeah, apparently. You could probably just dissolve the fins entirely, and the copper loops would probably still get rid of the heat on these fetters units.
if we have at least 90%, I think it'll work just fine.
Plus, the bottom row doesn't really do anything anyway because the base pan's in the way.
Well, right now, none of it's going to do anything because the coil cleaner's in the way.
That styrofoam is so disgusting that might even need full strength. Like the first Hampton Bay did. I hope it doesn't.
Well, if it does, I know who can take care of that. Yep, there's that tire coming out of this.
Yuck. Wow. This is so satisfying to watch.
I can't even see it.
You want to switch places?
I can watch it back on the video later.
See, I'm not brave enough to use the jet setting. I'm always afraid I'm going to bend the fins when I do that.
Well, if they're in good condition, it should be fine. It's just when it's rotted out.
The dirt is like climbing out of the coil. It's actually really cool. I think this is going to be a great unit for the kitchen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Although I don't know if it'll be as quiet as that carrier was. That's a tough act to follow.
Oh yeah, nothing will beat that carrier. But that's, I mean, to me that's a whole different category. Carrier is high end. This was not meant to be high end.
Yeah, that's true. This was a, consumer grade product.
I would go as far as say this was actually economy grade. In big box store, Home Depot, that's not. Especially the store brand at that.
I don't know. I mean, you could say that if you want, but it lacked nothing in longevity and performance. Is it as quiet as a carrier? No.
Well, I'm talking about more the intention rather than what it actually was.
Fair enough.
Obviously, it was very good quality.
It punched well above its weight, that's for sure. And like I've told Jordan on the telephone, I think that those 5.1Ks were really just like rebadged 6Ks because they run like 6s. Look at the foam in the base pan.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot better.
Yeah, some of the fins are starting to fall off. Yeah, this area here is kind of rough. It's taking a bunch of fins with it.
That's probably where the slinger was putting all the water in there.
I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it, right?
The machine will run just fine without it.
Yeah, that coil's probably thicker than it needs to be anyway. And that's always the area where all that mud sits.
Yeah, that's pretty much clear.
I don't even know if you need to do a second pass through this.
No, I
think it's good enough.
I agree.
I would just keep rinsing and rinsing and rinsing, but the other thing that's probably worth doing is let's try to clean out under this compressor too. There's a lot of crud there. You don't want that sitting.
No, definitely not. Well, that came out pretty easy.
What I usually like to do is I like to get like one of those foam brushes under there with some soap. Usually does a pretty good job. Yeah, it's
That's
full
gotta
of,
be all. Yeah, that's all.
it's all mud and stuff. Look at that. It feels so weird submerging your hands in liquid with gloves. Like, you think your hands should be getting wet, but they're not. I'm not used to this. Yeah, some of this is metal.
This
it's starting to get nice out.
Well, maybe we'll be able to test it out.
If we're able to get this thing fully back together today, I think that's really good. Testing it out would be like a super extra bonus at this point. These things always clean up so nice. I'm always amazed. Oh, you know what? I think there's a drain in this styrofoam that's clogged.
Can you want to clog it?
Well, I would, but I probably need a screwdriver or something because I can't really see what I'm doing.
Rats, I don't have any of those here.
Oh well, too bad. We'll have to go to that secret location to get some more stuff.
We'll wait to go to the Home Depot.
You think we'll see any digital transformers? My buddy Rom enjoyed that, by the way. Let me get out of the way. See, all these units I've cleaned, I've never thought of doing something like that. Just taking the nozzle out and just soaking the thing.
You just need to rinse this so much when you use this cleaner.
Especially if you, you know.
Especially if you use too much of it. Not that anybody ever uses too much.
Let me go see if I can find a screwdriver in the garage. I'm not making any guarantees.
Yeah, you'll have to hunt high and low. You can try looking by the tools.
Oh, is that where it would be? You want to use a little bit of soap and agitation to wash out the base pan?
Yeah, we could do that.
Yuck.
Did you get it unclogged?
I think I did. Kind of a strange setup here.
Well, this was the Hampton Bay brand version, so
Junk.
you have to expect some anomalies.
Junk. Yeah, look at that. It's amazing how much shiny paint there is still here.
I thought it was a decent high-grade paint that was used.
Apparently, I'll tell you what, when I stripped the paint off that Glacier Breeze, that was a lot of work.
See, we're still getting some foam out of this. You have to rinse this so much.
It's so frustrating. But, I mean, you use like 4 to 1, which is the strongest I've ever seen it do. Yeah, you know what we can do is we can use that paintbrush.
You got a paint on?
We could do that. That little chip brush that we brought out. That and, if you have any car soap in the garage, that usually works pretty good.
Yeah, I do have some automotive soap.
And because I'm such a neat freak with these things, I usually even wax the inside of them too.
Yeah, you go a lot further than I do.
Well,
I mostly go for performance more than aesthetics.
well, it's not aesthetics in my case. It's, you know, the salt fog, like I always say.
Yeah, we have a different situation, different use case than I do.
Yeah.
And around here, at this point, the rust will probably stop. It's not going to get any worse. If you're running it by the ocean, it's a whole different story.
You know, in the not too distant future, hopefully that won't be the case anymore.
Oh boy, look at that styrofoam piece filled up with water now.
How bad is it? Oh, wow. Oh, that's gross. Oh.
You know what's not gross? Ice cream.
Are you trying to tell me something that you want? There's still some foam coming out of the bottom.
I know.
The foam is the bottom is the hardest part to get the foam out of, and of course that's the part that's the most ruined too. You're gonna flood your yard by the time we're done with this.
It won't be the first time, won't be the last.
I'm amazed this doesn't kill your grass.
Well, it's so diluted at this point, it probably doesn't do anything.
I've heard that other people don't dilute it as much as you do though.
Yeah, I've seen one person in particular just uses it very, very strong. I don't think that's a good idea.
You like that ice cream? Ice cream. Why is there still foam in here?
Because too much coil cleaner was used.
This looks like the beach, so like there's sand in here. Look at this, you can still see the numbers that the factory wrote on the base pan, 869, whatever that is. Sorry, I haven't cracked that code yet.
That's the amount of coil cleaner you're supposed to use.
I can tell you the date it was manufactured, right down to the day, but... Well, the day the label was printed.
Which is probably
Close enough.
the same thing.
But as I know from where I work, sometimes stuff sits in on the factory floor for weeks because of the amount of troubleshooting required to solve a problem. But this is obviously less complicated to troubleshoot than the stuff that my company makes.
This is a much more simple piece of equipment.
Yeah. It's not flight controls.
Just climate controls.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of dust over here too. Alright, let me go get that soap that we were talking about. Maybe I'll even use a little bit of coil cleaner.
It should be in that cabinet under near where the computer is.
Okay. Oh, that is oh no. That is so bad.
I think we're just about good here for this thing.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'm very satisfied with how this turned out.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think one or two sweeps with the coil comb and you'll squeeze out the last few drops of performance out of it. Oh, this is so disgusting. Yeah, I can totally see through the evaporator now, like 95%, if not more.
Condenser too?
The condenser's actually better than the evaporator.
No, I'm not surprised. The
We'll have to smash those fins worth.
still pretty good. Alright, I think we're good here.
I can't wait until we can power this up and try it out. That's going to be awesome.
You really think it's going to be more than an hour or two? We're pretty much done.
Well, we
Yeah,
still
do
have
it
to put the bearings and stuff on the rotor, and who knows what that's going to turn into. The other thing I guess we want to do is rinse this out too. Well, that fan motor should have taken like 20 minutes, and of course it didn't pan out that way because that one bearing was not moving. I mean, to respond to your question about the compressor, yeah, we should be able to run that no matter what. I love this soap. It smells so good. Nothing. No kind of soap. Yeah. Well, it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's pretty terrible that you miss out on. This reminds me of when I got my first car. This was the soap that I used to use to wash it. Brings back a lot of memories. I wish I still had it. It was a great car, but unfortunately, the rust was just taking it over and it wasn't safe to drive anymore.
I remember the first time I used Uncut Coil cleaner. It was such a great soap.
This is cleaning up beautifully. I guess you're probably going to want this brush for that, aren't you?
This is definitely going to need some friction cleaning.
You might even need the stiff brush that we were using before.
I really don't like to use that on the styrofoam.
I know, it
kinda
scratches it up.
up.
But to play devil's advocate, you'll never see it either.
No, but it might make it easier for more junk to accumulate.
That's a fair argument. I could buy that. Well, you know what will do a really nice job cleaning it?
What?
Some coil cleaning.
Some ice cream?
Oh yeah, we could use ice cream to clean it out. By the time we're done with this is going to be like a 19-part video. And you know what? Several people will have watched every single part of it too.
Well, there has to be somebody else out there that finds it interesting.
I mean, I watch it even though I'm in the video.
Did you forget what happens?
Well, no, because I find it interesting to see, you know, what the before and after look like as it progresses. This is quite the transformation, though.
Yeah.
I'm just about done with this brush if you want it.
I'll start with the... Yeah, I'm going to need the other one. Oh, gross. Gonna get the air conditioner full of sneeze. I'm going to have to use some more coil cleaner to get it off.
Oh, no. Maybe we could clean it off with some ice cream.
Maybe.
You said you think you have a 1/4 20 cap?
I have no idea what the sizes are, but I'm pretty sure I bought a tap and die set.
If you bought a tap and die set and it doesn't come with a 1/4 20, then that set's not worth anything.
Well, then I'll return it.
How long have you had it?
A couple years.
I think it might be too late to do that.
It might be, but it's not worth anything. So the store should take it back.
I mean, if you try to return it without a receipt, they probably will give you store credit. Where'd you get it from?
I probably the Home Depot.
Oh yeah, they'll take back anything. They're pretty good.
Do you think they take off stuff that's going to Hampton Bay?
No, because they know it's junk.
Oh. I hate cleaning these blower wheels.
I know, it's one of the hardest parts. You know what I really hate cleaning? The louvers in the chassis.
That I would just douse with coil cleaner.
See, I'm such a freak. I'll go through every louver one by one with a foam brush.
I don't have time for that.
I don't either, but I do it anyway. There's a reason why it takes me forever to do everything. But you know it'll be done right.
If you get it done right, there's not much to be said about it.
I think you used to work with somebody who was like that, right?
Yes, I did.
Took a while, but he always did it right.
He took forever to do anything. He was so slow. He was slower than molasses in a freezer. But you couldn't say anything because everything he did was done right the first time.
There's a lot to be said for that.
There is.
Haste makes
Especially
waste, right?
when the people that work quickly make a lot of mistakes and have to do things over and over again. Certainly don't have anybody that works with me that does that.
This grommet is disgusting too.
Everything on this machine is disgusting.
I know. We still have to clean
Especially the brand.
especially the brand. That was probably the most disgusting part of the unit was who made it. There you go. Look at that. How dirty the water is.
This is terrible. How do you let equipment get like this?
Well, people who smoke often don't have the best cleanliness anyway. Sorry, the bristles are all jacked up on it.
Did you have to damage the brush before you gave it to her?
Yes. It's more fun that way. I'm very sorry an older boy told me to do it. Wow, look at how much dirt came out of it. Sorry if I'm getting water on you. Doing my best to avoid it.
Probably should have just hooked up the second hose by now. It's like an accumulation of sand on the floor here now.
Look at that. That came out of the unit?
Yes.
Wow. Here you go. It doesn't even look like he touched it. I might cancel out the idea that we'll be done in an hour.
Well, this is never going to be perfect. That's just kind of accepted at this point. This doesn't have enough coil cleaner in it.
All that complaining about people using too much and they didn't even put enough in there.
Where's the moment?
Too busy thinking about ice cream.
Probably.
I love ice cream.
Some people really like coil cleaner.
What if it's ice cream flavored?
And probably too much of it was eaten.
I wonder if anybody's ever drank New Bright by accident, because it looks like Gatorade.
Well, there's one person that would know.
Oh my god. I wonder if he noticed yet.
Who?
The mystery person that we're talking
Oh,
about.
the guy that uses way too much coil cleaner.
Ow. My head. Would it make more sense to use that as a mist rather than a stream?
Probably.
Can't you twist the nozzle on the end of it?
Sure can. You want me to change something that makes more sense?
I mean, if you want.
That's not what we usually do around here.
I love that you stopped to say that and you didn't even turn.
Yeah, that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Well, unfortunately, there's a little bit more work to be done. No, there was the beginning of a wasp nest inside of this thing.
Spray with coil cleaner.
That'll show them. There's still more to be done.
Oh,
Like this.
well, that at least will clean up easy.
Like this filth. Oh wait, there's still more.
There's also the front cover.
What's that?
The front cover.
Well, the whole chassis needs to be cleaned out because there's foam insulation on top. The fans usually clean up pretty nice. This should probably also be cleaned. We'll clean out this useless vent, which is the same size as the small units are.
Wow, what a useful feature.
Good thing they included that. Although with a Hampton Bay product, I'm surprised it did. It's such junk. Too bad they didn't include an ice cream machine.
You know, an ice cream machine, that's something you can use too much coil cleaner on. I really wish the styrofoam wasn't porous. Stupid design.
Well, stupid design or not, it's a good insulator. It's a better insulator than metal.
Yeah, but just spray something else on it to make it smooth. But that's not exclusive to these machines. They were all like that.
Geez, it's 27 years old and it's actually repelling water off the paint. That's crazy. Isn't that your favorite component to clean, the blower?
Yes, I love cleaning these. Can you rinse this thing off? It kind of needs to be rinsed now.
Sure.
There's a little too much coil cleaner on it.
What else can I do to help other than stand in the way and make a mess?
You want to go get some ice cream?
Kinda. I don't know where it's at though. I assume it's somewhere in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
Where'd you put it, in the oven or?
Yeah, it's next to the toaster.
Oh, speaking of which, there's something we have to put in the toaster soon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Although by the time we set the studio up, it'll probably be done cooking anyway.
Well, I did clean it up yesterday, so it's not too bad.
I just figured, you set the camera up, get everything all ready to go.
Coil cleaner set up. Alright, that's done. Useless piece of garbage.
It's actually amazing how much faster it goes when you have two people working on it.
You still didn't rinse that.
You took it away from me. I got distracted. I was thinking about ice cream.
Pay attention.
Why should I? Attention doesn't pay me.
They might pay on a good working piece of equipment. Is that, you think it looks good enough now?
It actually is still dirty, believe it or not.
Oh, great.
It's mostly clean though.
How much? Oh, for heaven's sakes, I see it. I wonder at what point is it just stained? It might just be stained.
Your call, your unit.
This is, can be rinsed.
Okay. Rinse off this stupid vent. Right. No, you made a pretty good dent in it that time. That's a lot better. You're right, though. The porosity of the styrofoam kind of pushes all the dirt into it. It's still like 100 million times better than it was. It's so gross. Just imagine how much easier this would have been to clean if the person didn't smoke.
Would have been done.
It would have been done like an hour ago.
It had to be used in the vicinity with the smoking.
I'm telling you, I think they sat in front of it and blew smoke directly into it. How bad this thing looked. I think this goes beyond, oh, somebody was smoking inside the house with this unit running.
Well, it could have been multiple people.
Yeah, I know.
Could have been in a vicinity with heavy the smoking.
Oh, that's
The
even
other side's
worse.
even worse. Vent's filthy again.
This door makes such a great workbench, though.
It does.
I gotta give credit where credit's due.
That's why I kept it.
I don't blame you. I would have kept it too.
Just wish I could have get that knob off of there.
I can bring my cutoff wheel next time I come over and we can cut it off with that.
Or we could just evaporate with coil cleaner.
It is brass, I bet. Oh, I brought some grease with me that we can put on the motor shaft. So if you ever have to take the blower wheel or fan off over again. cancel out that feature.
Well, sure, it doesn't serve any purpose.
Sure doesn't.
Yeah,
I knew
so-
you weren't going to be able to help yourself.
At some point, I think this is just standard.
Nicotine tar. Ugh. I had a teacher who used to smoke in his car. Like, that's even worse.
Or the car would look like this. I suppose it's better than in the classroom.
Oh, no. No teachers union on earth is going to save you from that. You're not getting away with smoking inside the school.
Yeah, it's just surprising how dirty it was even outside that house.
Doesn't that house still kind of look junky, though?
It's good looking better than it was.
Oh, okay.
If we go get ice cream, we could take a look at it. Make sure the stupid slinger reel is clean.
Well, stupid or not, it provides a lot of mechanical support.
Yeah, that's true. It's fine as long as there's no water inside.
I don't think you would have been able to fix that Frigidaire if it didn't have one of those.
I agree.
That was a satisfying repair, too.
I'm not sure I would trust that thing unattended, but I seldom use it unattended anyways.
I wouldn't care. I'd just let it shake itself apart. If it blows, it blows.
You can actually still buy that fan blade. It's still under manufacture.
It's probably like $50 million, though.
It's almost $100, but it's out there.
It's like as much as a unit costs.
I'd rather spend the $100 on that blade than buy a new unit for $150.
I don't disagree with that.
Though I really can't imagine there's that many people that share the mindset to make it worth manufacturing.
I always wondered what would happen if you bought a brand new car, you never drove it, and you sold every piece. Like, how much more money would it be worth in pieces? Like, if you bought a car for $50,000, would you get like $200,000 worth of parts out of it?
Maybe depending on the model.
Much better. What a difference, huh?
Yeah, it looks pretty good now. Yeah, a lot of holes here. Not good. The evaporator is not a cosmetic thing of beauty, but I think functionally it's got to be at least 90+%.
Yeah, I think you have very good airflow through here, too.
We should probably just take a quick peek under there and make sure everything's copacetic.
We could do that. That's easy enough to do.
Oh, we missed a spot. Oh well.
Well, go get some full-strength coil cleaner.
Oh yeah, some coil cleaner would take care of it.
Look at how little rust there is on this base pan. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that is incredible. But I guess that's the drain hole.
Makes all the difference in the world, I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
the
it
kind of
really
results
does.
speak for themselves, right?
Yep.
All right, let me take this apart. I have it. Thank you.
definitely covered in the tar as well.
Yeah, it would be kind of a shame to do all this work and then not clean this too. So the only potential wrinkle is this area here.
We'll just try to keep that area dry.
I mean, it's not a problem if it gets wet. It'll just take forever to dry. That's the issue.
Well, there's no airflow through the front of that directly, so it doesn't have to be crazy clean.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess we should Oh yeah, that's I don't know. Maybe it's in the garage. Why do those go missing? I don't understand. What do people do? Throw them out?
Leave the doors alone, people. They're there for a reason.
I don't think that schematic is going to survive.
Is it legible anyways?
Well, the good news is it's the same schematic on every single unit anyway, so...
And we could always take a picture.
You have a toothbrush that's dry or something? Not one that you use in your mouth, obviously.
Yeah, I have one that I use outside my mouth.
Okay. Because we can kind of clean it off with that dry and then take a picture of the schematic.
I should probably think about cleaning off some ice cream cones too. It's getting nice enough to be outside now. Yeah, all things considered, the filter's pretty clean compared to the rest of the unit.
That's because the rest of the unit stopped all the dirt for the filter. It protected the filter, right?
Really makes you wonder what happened here.
Oh, where's that toothbrush that you were talking about?
There might be one on in the studio bench
Okay.
on the pegboard somewhere.
Okay.
cleaned up. That's amazing. Yeah, the filter was clear. Who would have known?
That was the last thing I would have expected to be the case. Schematic cleaned up pretty good too.
Great, now we can take a picture.
As I put this right in front of my face without the mask that I wanted to wear. And now it's getting windy.
Well, that's a good sign to go get some ice cream.
Let me take a picture of this schematic because it's probably not going to survive coil cleaner.
Well, definitely not if you use too much. You might be able to get a clearer picture if you take it in the light.
Well, I have a flash on this.
Oh.
It works pretty good.
Is the flash brighter than the sun?
Of course it is. The sun's not that bright anyway. Okay. Probably the cleanest this thing's been in 25 years.
Probably.
Wow, that grill is gross.
Yeah, there's some pretty thick accumulation.
You know
in
it's
there.
bad when you have to use coil cleaner on the grill. I would have just put that in the dishwasher.
I think that this would have clogged the dishwasher with so much. There was like this stuff all over the place. That'll clog the dishwasher.
Wow, really? That looks
Yeah.
like felt.
This was even too much for the dishwasher.
How was the filter clean?
Because the unit cleaned the air before it passed through the filter.
Oh, so this had the backwards flow?
Yes.
That checks out.
Oh, that tar coming out of there.
Oh. I bet you this isn't even discolored from the sun.
It's probably not.
It's too bad that free one got away from us.
Probably went to a scrap.
That's the biggest shame of all.
That one had the stinking door.
I know, it was worth it for that alone.
The door would have been worth $25. Well, as they say, you can't save them all.
You can save coil cleaner if you don't use too much of it, though.
That's true. And you can save ice cream cones.
Yummy. You want to pop the registers out?
Nope.
They should come out pretty easily.
I don't feel like it.
Okay.
I hate cleaning registers. It reminds me of cleaning the blower wheel. It's actually not all that discolored anymore. And I bet some melamine foam would take off those marks.
So disgusting. I think the seal on that thing was going or something.
Yeah, well, it probably had too much coil cleaner in it.
You don't say.
I've been using this thing for years. It doesn't owe me anything.
If I knew, I would have got you one. They have them at Lidl for like $6.
Who?
It's a grocery store, cheap grocery store, Lidl.
Never heard of it.
It might be specific to where I live. Hey, you know what I could use to help dry this is the leaf blower. Is that in the garage?
Yeah, it is. The battery is in, it should be in the fireproof bag in the bottom drawer of where the computer is.
Okay.
It's a lithium battery. There might be a lithium battery fire.
Okey-dokey. In case you were interested, which I'm sure you're not.
He still hasn't found the stinking battery. He's looking in every drawer except for where it is.
Find it?
I did. It seemed like you were looking in every drawer except for the one where it was.
Probably. I'm amazed how much of the schematic is still intact.
Yeah, this is really quick.
Okay. Well, that was one for the book, that's for sure.
Oh, I agree. I can't believe how much higher than the outside of this. The outside was not in the smoking environment.
Unless they stood next to it and smoked outside.
Inside and outside?
I don't know. Nothing surprises me.
Yeah, it would be a nice surprise right now with the
Ice cream?
cone.
There's a bug on you. Look at how much paint came off the door.
Oh, look, there's paint on here. It's all
See that?
splattered. How on earth did that happen?
What did they do to this poor unit?
Sprayed paint and smoking into it.
Old. Oh, that is gross. Yeah, there's no way around it. You gotta clean that foam. Wonder what's gonna come out of that.
Some brown liquid, probably.
Ice cream? Chocolate ice cream?
That does kind of sound like ice cream.
Look at that. Wow.
Sometimes I will just coat this in like clear tape or something. if I can't get it to come clean. But let's see to try to get it to come as clean as possible.
This is worth trying to save. So.
It's always ice cream.
I'm just hoping that the coil cleaner doesn't like take the glue off and then it just falls off.
Oh man.
Wow, look at that. That's an interesting technique to wash out the foam. I never thought of that.
How do you do it?
I usually spray it with the flash, but your technique is much better.
Well, I've unfortunately dealt with a lot of units that were in the vicinity of the smoking.
In fact, what I did, oh wow. In fact, what I did on my Glacier Breeze was I took a heat gun and I intentionally took the foam out completely before I had it painted. And I washed it on like a flat piece of metal, and then I hung it out in the sun all day.
I might end up just spraying that in something anyways. It looks like it came pretty clean, but I wonder how integral it is at this point.
I think you got all the crud out of there. Because some of that's just the black fiberglass material.
There's just a little bit of that.
Yeah,
color.
some of it's got to come out of the back here. Probably needs another hit.
Yeah, I agree.
That was not a good idea to do that. Now, how are you going to dry that?
This? Airflow in the sun.
I bet if you put that in front of the dehumidifier, it would probably dry it out.
It might.
We've made pretty good progress. It's only 4 o'clock.
Oh, that's ice cream time.
Ice cream o'clock.
Ice cream o'clock. It's gonna take about a half an hour to get ice cream.
Really? That far?
Huh?
Is it that far away?
No, it's close. It's only like, what, 8 minutes away?
Oh, I see.
So if we go there and we spend 15 minutes eating the ice cream,
I understand.
we'll be back in about a half an hour. And by then, the stuff might be dry.
Not this. This is
Oh
gonna.
no, this will not be dry until it runs for a couple hours.
Which we may be able to do today, actually.
Yeah.
I'll even help you put it in the kitchen if you want.
The only problem is it'll likely be weeks or months before we use it.
At the rate things are going, yeah. Despite all this, you still only used a little bit more than a quart of New Bright.
And it came perfectly clean. We used as much as was needed. You don't always have to use too much coil cleaner.
I love this gravel under the deck. That's so handy.
Oh no.
You just get some foam weather stripping from the Home Depot.
I want to turn that into a patio. And I was thinking of taking this gravel out and moving it over there. But then I realized that this is going to become a problem.
Well, that and the weeds are going to grow as soon as you get rid of the gravel, too.
It should only grow over there like it is now. There's no sunlight. This has the plastic coating on it still.
It does.
Huh. This might look like brand new then.
I never understood why they had plastic coating on them.
Just gotta use plastic film.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, this foam is shot. It's
Well, it was in the vicinity of the smoking.
yeah, but it's also like almost 30 years old. It's not. Let's see another rinse.
Yeah, this foam's gonna have to get covered in something. There's still tons of that tar coming out. Probably breaking down too.
Well, they always break down. That's normal.
Yeah, but I don't want that blowing into the room.
Let's get this another shot too. Much better. Yeah. The problem is it's on my gloves, so rinse my gloves off. I'm trying to. There we go.
There's a lot of mold inside here.
Isn't that something? The whole thing is
Sticky
gross.
tape. Lots of sticky tape on here.
Why did they do that?
Gotta make sure the $50 sticker stays in place.
Are you trying to keep that?
Of course.
I think it's kind of cool. Here, you want a little bit of soap?
I have the $100 sticker still on the whirlpool somewhere.
I would keep it if I were you. I'm not gonna do too much here.
Don't use too much soap. Too much.
There you go. That should be good.
That's way too much.
Way too much coil cleaner. Oh well. Well, that was kind of to be expected, wasn't it?
How do you propose we fix that?
Well, you'd have to get spray adhesive and glue it back in place.
You don't think that they better just to put a new piece of foam in there?
You can find a piece that's this size.
Oh, can't you just cut one to size?
Yeah, I just don't know what this material is.
Foam.
Actually, if anything, this did you a favor, I think. Just
Oh, that's probably the glue that's on there now. I think we'll just get a new piece of foam.
Well, it'll dry a lot faster now.
You think they have some foam like that at the Home Depot? Some kind of like weather insulation or something?
I don't think so, but it's worth looking, right?
Hmm.
As long as we don't turn it into a 5-hour affair like we did with those screws.
Yeah, because the ice cream shop is right near the Home Depot.
Oh, is it?
So it's not wouldn't be out of the way.
Oh, and speaking of screws, we can get them while we're there
Screw
too.
it.
This didn't come with side panels, did it?
No, that's probably why it was taped in the window.
Well, luckily your windows don't need them anyway.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
This probably just barely fits in the window too, doesn't it?
Width it probably clears. Height will be close.
Well, height, you got to take the sash out.
Yeah.
Well, even the little Hampton Bay is cutting it close with those windows, isn't it?
Everything cuts it close.
That's so frustrating. But hey, at least you can get units in there.
I just wish I could fit box fans better. Someday I'll replace the windows, but that involves a lot of carpentry now to make it bigger.
Not to mention it's a very expensive thing to replace.
Yep.
And it's sort of hard to rationalize it because they actually are sealed very well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them don't open that good anymore. They're having problems, but it's definitely low on the list. Watch out, my coil cleaner's gonna get you. I can't believe how much tar is on the outside.
Ow.
The outside was not in the vicinity of the smoking. Or at least it shouldn't have been. Was the seal on the window that poor? Is that much air circulated outside?
I think this was a very ghetto installation.
Tape.
And masking tape at that. And like junky masking tape, not the blue stuff that most people
The
use.
camera just got all wet. There's got to be some kind of foam we can get that's a sticky back. Some kind of insulation or something or other.
It obviously exists. I just don't know where you'd find it.
I think there's got to be something we can use at the Home Depot.
Mostly dry.
Well, it might be a good stopping point then. Oh. Pick that off the wall.
Hey, you were not invited. Bye. I'm amazed how nicely this thing cleaned up.
It looks really nice now.
That almost looks like you retro-brighted it.
It's not even that yellow anymore.
I know.
Well, I guess it wasn't yellowed. It was just because of it was in the vicinity of the smoking.
That's less yellow than my my Glacier Breeze is.